This video shows how to solve equations where there are the same pronumerals on both sides of the equal sign and where the method of solving involves operations that are performed on both sides. When an equation has pronumerals or variables on both sides, we can remove a variable term from either side so as to produce a simpler equation to solve. So for example, if we have 5x equals 2x plus 6, then if we remove an x from either side, we will end up with a simpler equation. Now looking at this one, 2x is the smaller of the two, so let's just remove it from both sides. So what you do to one side of the equation, you must do to the other in order to keep it true, to keep it equivalent. So we're going to subtract 2x from both sides. So we've got on the left-hand side 5x minus 2x is equal to 2x minus 2x plus 6. Now on the right-hand side, this 2x minus 2x disappears, goes to 0, and we're left with just the plus 6. On the left-hand side, we have 5x minus 2x to give us 3x. 3x equals 6 is a simpler equation, and just by inspection we can see that x equals 2. Now that x equals 2 means that 5 times 2 is 10 on the left, and 2 times 2 is 4, plus 6 is 10 on the right. So 10 equals 10. So x equals 2 makes this equation true. And we solve this equation by removing the pronumeral from one side of the equation to produce a simpler equation. So we've got rid of 2x on both sides, and are left with a much simpler equation, 3x equals 6. Next question, let's solve 6t minus 7 is equal to 4 minus 2t. And again, let's just get rid of this 2t from the right hand side. No particular reason. We could subtract 6t from both sides. I choose not to do that because it will end up with a lot of negative terms. So it will be easier to get rid of the negative 2t from the right hand side. And so what we'll do is we'll add the inverse operation to minus 2t as plus 2t. So we'll add 2t to both sides. Remember, what you do to one side, you must do to the other. So if I add 2t on the right, I must also add it on the left. So what we get is 6t plus 2t minus 7 is equal to 4 minus 2t plus 2t. Now minus 2t and plus 2t will cancel out, leaving just the 4 on the right hand side, just 4. And 6t plus 2t is 8t minus 7 equals 4. And if we now perform the operations that we've learned from a previous video, we'll end up with 8t equals 11, and ultimately t equals 1 3/11 is our solution. But we went about solving this by removing the pronumeral from one side. And we chose to remove it from the right hand side. Doesn't matter which side we do. And we did that by adding 2t to both sides, which gets rid of this negative 2t altogether, leaving us just 4 there. And we've got a simpler two-step equation. t times 8 minus 7 gives us 4. Next one. Alright, 2 plus 5v equals 2v plus 16. Let's choose to remove the pronumeral from one of the sides. 2v is the smaller, so let's choose that one. And to get rid of plus 2v here, we need to subtract 2v. And what we do to one side of the equation, we must do to the other. So if we subtract 2v on the right, we must also subtract 2v on the left. So on the left, we have 2 plus 5v minus 2v gives us 2 plus 3v. 5v minus 2v is 3v. On the right here, 2v minus 2v, well, disappears. And we're just left with this minus 16 on the right here. Next step. Let's get rid of the plus 2 here, because ultimately we want this pronumeral v all by itself. So let's get rid of plus 2, as we've learned from previous videos. The inverse operation of the plus 2 is minus 2. And again, what you do to one side of the equation, you must do to the other. So 2 minus 2 on the left here cancels out, leaving us with just 3v. So on the left-hand side, we're left with 3v. On the right-hand side, negative 16 minus 2. Now if you take 16 and then you take another 2, altogether you've taken 18. So minus 16 minus 2 is minus 18 on the right, negative number. On the left here, there's 3b. Well, we don't want times 3. We want to get the pronumeral by itself, and the inverse operation is to times 3 is divide 3. And what we do to one side of the equation, we must also do to the other. So if we divide the left-hand side by 3, we must also divide the right-hand side by 3. All of this is in the previous couple of videos before this one. Now, 3 divided by 3 cancels out, gives 1. We're just left with 1v, v. Minus 18 divided by plus 3 will give us minus 6. So v equals minus 6. Now, in the description below this video is a link to a worksheet with some questions to practice. And the link below that contains the solutions to that worksheet.